Hello friend, welcome to Crypto Tree TV. Have you ever wondered why some people think the free market is unfair and believe the government should step in? Do you know how government programs sometimes end up helping the rich more than the poor? In today's video, we'll explore these questions and see how Bitcoin could be the answer. I will explain why the free market works the way it does, why government interventions often fail, and how Bitcoin can actually help the poor. Let's dive in. First, let's talk about the free market. The free market is a system where people buy and sell things freely without much government interference. In this system, you use your money to buy what you need or want. The more money you have, the more you can buy. People argue that this isn't fair because not everyone has the same amount of money. They believe that because of this, the market isn't democratic, meaning not everyone has the same power to get what they want. They think the government should step in to make things more equal by taking money from richer people and giving it to poorer people. Now, let's think about what happens when the government steps in. The idea is that the government will take money from the richer people and give it to the poorer people. Sounds good in theory, right? But here's the catch. The government also has its own set of rules and interests, just like the market. For example, there are many programs that are supposed to help the poor, but often these programs end up benefiting those who are already not poor. Let's look at some examples. Social Security. This is the biggest welfare type program in the US. It's supposed to help people when they retire. But did you know it actually takes more money from the poor than the rich? Here's why. People who start working earlier and earn less end up paying into the system for a longer time, but get less benefit, compared to those who start working later and earn more. Also, richer people tend to live longer, so they collect benefits for more years. This means that richer people get a better deal from Social Security than poorer people. Farm programs. These programs are meant to help farmers by keeping crop prices high. But who benefits the most? Big farmers. Here's why. Big farmers can afford the legal costs to get the most benefits from these programs, and they sell more crops, so they get more money. On the other hand, poor people end up paying higher prices for food because the program keeps prices high, which is like an extra tax on them. Urban renewal. This is supposed to help improve housing for the poor, but often it means tearing down cheaper houses and building expensive ones. Here's why. Instead of making affordable housing, urban renewal projects often replace old, low-rent buildings with expensive new ones. So, instead of helping the poor, it makes it harder for them to find affordable housing. This benefits middle-class people more as they get nicer neighborhoods while the poor are pushed out. As we saw with Social Security, farm programs, and urban renewal, government programs often don't help the poor as much as they claim. Instead, they can end up benefiting those who are already better off. Why does this happen? It's because the government has its own way of working, just like the market does. When the government steps in to change the distribution of wealth, it cannot always control where the money goes. Government programs are set up with good intentions, but they often end up helping people with more money and power. Now, imagine if 100 years ago, someone said that democracy could make the rich give money to the poor. It would have been hard to believe because the poor are outnumbered by the rest of the population. If people are not willing to give money voluntarily, why would they vote to give it away? Today, many believe our society proves that democracy can help the poor, but the reality is more complicated. So, we've seen that government programs often don't help the poor as much as they should. Instead, they end up benefiting those who are already better off. This is where Bitcoin comes in. Bitcoin is a digital currency that isn't controlled by any government or central authority. It operates on a free market principle where the value is decided by how much people are willing to pay for it. Because of its decentralized nature, Bitcoin cannot be manipulated by governments to benefit the rich over the poor. Plus, Bitcoin helps solve problems like inflation, which often hurts the poor the most. With traditional paper money, governments can print more money, causing inflation and decreasing the value of everyone's money. Bitcoin has a fixed supply, meaning it cannot be inflated. This protects the value of your savings over time. Also, Bitcoin transactions are transparent and secure, reducing the chance of corruption and fraud, which often harm the poor. It gives people more control over their money, without needing banks or intermediaries that might take a cut or deny service. In short, Bitcoin offers a fairer, more transparent, and secure way to handle money, especially benefiting those who are often left out by traditional systems. So, you've learned how government programs often don't help the poor as much as they should, and how Bitcoin might be a better solution. Bitcoin is fairer, more transparent, and gives everyone control over their money. Remember, friend, you don't need to subscribe or like the video, but I make these videos because I believe everyone should have the knowledge to make smart choices about their money. I believe everyone deserves to understand how money and the economy really work. I'm here to help you learn about Bitcoin and how it can change the world for the better. I read every comment, so feel free to share your thoughts and questions. I will keep sharing the secret knowledge of Bitcoin that the Matrix doesn't tell you. Let's escape the Matrix together!